Two guys, two things. Two guys, two things podcast.
First time we recorded, we weren't very good. Second time we recorded, we still weren't very good. Third time we recorded.
Third time.
Still weren't very good.
No.
Thought we would get better, but we weren't very good.
We got the wrong stuff.
Sure do.
Baby, when you listen to the radio.
The wrong stuff.
You probably don't listen to this on radios.
Because it's so old, you listen to this on radios?
Okay, all right, I like that.
So
two guys, two things. Hey.
That's us.
This is the podcast where we're going to take two trending topics or things that have been in the news and talk about them, discuss them for 15 minutes.
That's it.
That's what we'll do.
Simple.
It's very simple. All right.
Simple, short, to the point.
Yes, and I'm getting right to it.
Well, not to. We never get to the point. We just sang a song in the beginning of this.
That was part of the point, though.
Oh, got it.
You get to establish the environment.
How cool we are.
Yes, which
that's
nailed it.
Yeah.
So we're asking folks, if you listen, please feel free to give us a ring-a-ding-ding, write us a letter, or, just rate and review.
Rate us, man. I
was just trying to get to rate and review.
That's fine. Yeah, that'd be super helpful.
A handwritten letter would be very nice.
I would love it. Give out your address.
Right. But we do have another audio soundbite. Jason in the booth.
Cue that up.
Yeah, could you play that one? This is another person that listens to the podcast and wanted to. This is
Well, it's nice of him. It's nice.
Fergus.
Like Fergus' son?
No, just no Fergus. His name's Fergus. The gold miner. So
is that's still a thing?
Oh, we all listen to your podcast. We all digging for the gold, see? And I got the podcast on, and I found what I found with fool's gold. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
It was just your voice. And I took my little hammer, and I started hitting it really hard on my iPod. And just knocking, and then I bite it. It's no good. Yeehaw! You got suck.
Well, I mean...
That was really kind of... That was one of the worst reviews I've ever heard in my life.
I mean,
I apologize.
They're usually kind of mean. But that one was, just to end it straight up, you guys suck. I mean, at least he's honest, I
Look,
guess.
I mean, it takes a long time to pan for gold. I mean, we can't be that bad. It's a good way to pass the time.
Just panning gold to pass the time?
No, but listening to us while you're doing that.
That's our t-shirt. Panning gold to pass the time.
Two guys, two things.
Oh my god.
Okay.
We have so many t-shirts.
So to decide who's going to go first, we have to finish our game that we started, I think, back in the late 80s. It's the one game, we're still in the first hand of blackjack.
Oh god. Just hit me.
I've been very afraid to turn this card over.
He won't do it. I've been asking him to hit me for 33 years now. He just won't do it. He's afraid I'm going to get blackjack.
I know.
So can you please hit me?
Okay, I will. Because,
we have to end it.
It's been a long time. It's been 30 years. Okay. And... No!
Got it, blackjack. I knew it. Blackjack.
Did you have like Superman vision? You saw the other side of this card?
I'm not going to say how I knew, but I appreciate blackjack. So I finally win this hand. We can move on with the podcast.
God, I feel so empty after all that time.
Well,
fine, Chris. You get to go first for the story.
All right, let's go. 15 minutes on the clock.
All right.
So we're going to talk about fantasy football in a way. Not our league or anything like that. But this story has to do with Jock Peterson and Tommy Pham, and in a roundabout way, Mike Trout, all baseball players who play in a fantasy football league together.
Oh man, can I just say I'm so happy, and I think our fans are very happy that we're talking about sports again.
Yeah, I know it's been a while.
It feels right.
It's been a while.
Feels right.
Been a while.
Nope.
So they were in a not your favorite group.
Nope.
They were in a fantasy football league together. This is last year.
So these baseball players We're in a fantasy football.
Yeah. So
team.
and I just read this. So
Baseball players
this
get
is a $10,000 buy-in.
What?
Yeah.
Well, a baseball player that makes
$10,000 buy-in.
they make I think more than minimum wage.
Yeah, so they can swing it. Wow. So
That's funny.
So no pun intended. So they're in a league together. Tommy Pham is an outfielder for the Cincinnati Reds. At the time, it was the Padres. Jock Peterson is a DH outfield for the Giants.
If you guys don't know Jock Peterson,
he's the best.
He's fun.
He wears pearls.
He does.
So
he is a fun ball player. Yes.
So last year, Jock Peterson gets accused of cheating. Okay, in the fantasy football league, Tommy Pham accuses him of cheating.
Okay.
So during a week, a player was marked as out.
Okay.
He put them on the IR and picked up another player.
Oh, that's a big no-no, Jock.
So depending on the rules, who knows, right? Who knows? Tommy Pham.
You need that IR designation.
Again, depending on the rules.
Okay.
So he just out for the game. Puts him on IR, picks up a player. Tommy Pham accuses him of stashing players. Okay? So Jock, at that point, in this text thread, takes a screenshot of the rules, sends it to the group. And it says, if a player is designated out, you can put him on IR.
Okay.
But then Tommy retorts, well, that's whatever site we're using or whatever, but you know this, Jock. We have our own IR rules. You know that he has to be designated IR.
So, when you say you know this Jock, that just sounds like a name you just made up.
Jacques.
You know Jacques Cousteau.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's so great. Okay.
So, but then Jock Peterson goes and says, oh, really, Tommy? What about Jeff Wilson from the 49ers? He was out for a game. You put him on IR and picked up players. So now it's starting to boil up. And so they're going back and forth about it. Is Jock Peterson cheating? Was this a rule? Or if it was written in the website that they were playing on, did they have like an understanding that no, it needs to be designated IR, right? So that they were going back and forth. So they get mad.
See, so already this is telling me that they have not been in this league together for a long time.
Right.
Because you hash this stuff out.
You know this before you start.
Yeah, you have end of the year meetings.
But I think that's kind of Tommy's point. Like, we do know this.
Okay.
And you, Jacques, still decided to put him on the IR. So they got pretty heated. And at the end of the text thread, Tommy Pham says, the next time I see Jock Peterson, I'm going to give him a pimp slap. That's what he says a year ago. He's so mad at Jock Peterson for putting somebody on the injured reserve for a fucking fantasy game.
Okay, like week 2. I mean, right.
Is
this a game? Was like a playoff? Did Tommy Pham not make the playoffs because of this decision?
Nope. It just in the middle of the year. Just middle of the year, because it's worth $10,000, and there's like 10 to 12 people in this. You know
that's an at bat.
I know
for those guys.
But listen, you're looking at
$10,000.
You're looking at like $100,000 payout here. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So it's serious for Tommy. So he said next time he sees Jock Peterson, he's going to give him a pimp slap.
Pimp slap, I love it. Okay.
All right. So fast forward to like a couple days ago.
Yeah.
The Giants were playing the Reds. Jock Peterson's team, Tommy Pham's team. They were just playing catch in the outfield. Tommy Pham walks over to Jock Peterson in right field, slaps him, walks back into the dugout.
That's awesome.
Now, there's two things with this. Somehow, it looks like from like the visitors' dugout, it's being filmed.
Okay.
Like from the visitors' dugout, shooting into right field, and they catch it. So one, who is filming this? How did they know to film? Because there was nothing going on, right? There was just baseball players walking around the outfield.
Was this game in Cincinnati?
It was in Cincinnati.
Yeah, no one's even there.
Right.
No one goes to baseball games in Cincinnati anymore. There's
that's something.
The
The angle was like a player. It wasn't high up. So it's like, so did Tommy Pham go, hey, what's this? And then walk out to the outfield. He hit Jacques Peterson. Slapped him, went back in, and they went about their business. And so the other thing, so the cheating got Tommy mad. And also in the text thread, Jacques Peterson did a meme. He sent a meme to the group. It was the Padres, the Giants, and the Dodgers. They were all weightlifters, and with the logos on top of their head. And then the Padres, Tommy's team at the time, drops the weight and falls down. And then so Tommy didn't like that either.
So I heard, because the Padres were doing so well,
right?
And then they faltered at the end. It was in reference to that.
Exactly,
yeah, okay, yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
So it was in Cincinnati, and Jacques says he kind of just came up and was like, "Hey, you remember last year?" That's what he recalls. And I was like, "Fantasy football?" And he's like, "Yeah." And then Tommy Pham slapped him on his left cheek.
Oh man!
Hey, you remember last year? So he didn't react to the slap. His teammates responded. They rushed the field. I kind of got him together, whatever. But they just walked off, basically. He said that I think that's the first time we ever spoke in person. It's all through text, all in the game, and then so the funny,
so they don't do a live draft.
I guess not.
In the same room.
I guess not. I
don't want to be in that league.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, Mike Trout, the best baseball player in the league, was the commissioner.
Mike Trout is the commissioner.
Yeah, so Tommy Pham was kind of shitting on Mike Trout too. Said the commissioner could have stopped this and just said, "Hey Tommy," or "Hey Jock, you can't put this player on."
But I thought you already said that Tommy Pham played Jeff Wilson.
That's what Jacques Peterson accused Tommy Pham of doing.
Well, then come on.
So I don't know who's telling the truth here, because Jacques said, "Hey, look, it's in the rules. Here's the picture." Tommy says, "Hey, but we also kind of know you need to be IR." But then Jacques says, "Well, you did it too."
This is where we need Dr. Phil.
And have a sit down, right?
We all get together here. Can you do it, Dr. Phil?
Oh, I gotta get into it. I can maybe do it.
Like for all.
Okay. Hey, Tommy. No, I can't do it. Okay. Hey, Tommy. I gotta hear him.
We're all Southern. We gotta get Southern in. We gotta get all Southern here and work together. Tommy, tell me how you're feeling about that.
Well, he shouldn't have cheated.
Now, Jock's saying that you cheated too. Now, Tommy, I don't know about that.
That's just not true. Jeff Wilson at that time was on the IR. He wasn't just out.
Well, this is what I'm gonna say. You can no longer make your line up through Dominion voting systems.
That's fair.
Okay.
So anyway, that's the Jeff Wilson is at the center of this dispute. Was he out? We
need to hear from Jeff Wilson.
Was he on IR?
Okay.
So Jeff Wilson says,
"Oh my God, seriously?"
Yes.
Okay.
Says, "I guess I was just honored to be in the conversation." Shout out to Jock for having me on the team. Wilson said with a laugh, and taking one for the team.
Oh wow! I was just joking about that. That's funny.
Yep. Jeff Wilson,
football player in question,
who's in the center of this, heard about it. Said, "Hey, it's kind of cool that I'm in the center."
Doesn't even know these guys.
Nope.
That's
these guys know each other. They play baseball. They said they haven't talked to each other in real life ever. First time they did, Tommy Pham comes to slap him. So here's I guess the point. People who listen to this may not understand. Fantasy football can get serious. People get heated. It's very important. Whether it be a $10,000 buy-in, a $10 buy-in, a $100 buy-in, people get very serious. People do not like cheaters in fantasy football. I've never hit anybody though. I've always been in leagues where rules are pretty laid out and there's pretty good people.
We had hitting in our league. We did have hitting in our league before you joined us.
Like pushing though?
Yeah.
Down the stairs?
Yeah, we did have some of that going on.
It get heated.
It get a little heated.
And unless you're in a league, especially with people that you've been playing with.
Although that had nothing to do with
fantasy football. It wasn't fantasy football. But unless you're in a league, it's like you really don't get it, you know what I mean? You really don't understand how important it is to you to win. So when Tommy saw Jock putting somebody in the stashing players and putting somebody on the IR, that's a big no-no. And in the way Jock described it, it sounded like a little kid who got caught, where he was talking for 4 or 5 minutes, but like really didn't get to any point. He was just like saying a lot of things. So it's like it makes me think Jacques maybe knew in the back of his mind.
But then I thought I read that Tommy Pham was bragging about all the money he won in all these other leagues.
Yeah, well, Tommy's a big braggadocious guy anyway. He talks about a lot of the fantasy football leagues. He talks about how much of a Vegas player he is, and all the casinos love him.
Tommy Pham, wasn't he shot at?
I think that sounds right.
Like last year or 2 years ago?
Like a couple years ago.
Yeah, right?
That sounds right, yeah.
He was like out somewhere, like maybe Vegas or somewhere.
Yeah, probably Vegas.
He
brags how he's a big Vegas player.
Yeah.
All the time.
The dude was shot.
So it makes sense to me, especially if Tommy Pham's a big gambler, right? Because then it's really important. Because now you're messing with like
he's got the name,
his money, Tommy Pham.
Hey, don't mess with Tommy.
Tommy Pham.
Hey.
Yeah. So Tommy Pham got suspended. I think 3 games and a
it's before the game.
And a fine.
It's before the game. Having fun.
But it's doing other with yeah. But
it's a private matter.
It was like three games. Got a small fine. I won't play it here because it's a long time, but when we get a chance, you got to watch his explanation.
Okay.
It's rambling. Jock Peterson rambles about something that no one could give a shit less about. No one cares about fantasy football except your own league. Like when you hear stories about somebody else's league, most people.
Okay, and yet that's funny because we have a fantasy football podcast.
About just our league.
About just our league.
And not even our whole league listens to it. All we need is 12 listeners an episode. Don't get that. We might get 4. You know?
Yeah. 2 of which is ourselves.
Yeah, so yeah. So what do you think, right? Because obviously it all comes down to what the rules say, right?
Yeah, sure, of course. But
normally that's a no-no.
I just don't think Tommy needed to be suspended.
For hitting somebody?
It was a bitch slap.
On the field,
a pimp slap.
A pimp slap.
Next
time I see Jacques, he's gonna get a pimp slap.
He was trying to keep up with his word. He said he would.
Listen.
He followed through.
Okay. But
I respect Tommy Pham.
He was mad.
Was he? But it wasn't like he hurt him.
No, he didn't hurt him.
Right, if you hurt him, that's different.
Sure.
If it was during the game, uncalled for.
But funnier. He runs out of right field to come across. But way funnier in the game. It was like
it would be really funny in the game, but before the game, people joke around because you could almost take it as a joke.
Right.
How do you know intent? Exactly.
Right. I get you. Well, we know intent because Tommy did not back down. He's like, yeah, I hit him. He didn't talk about anything about joking around or I was just playing around. He came up to him and said, "Hey, remember last year? Yeah, fantasy football."
So Tommy Pham now, so on the Reds, huh?
On the Reds.
So I wonder if he's like talking to like Pete Rose and get some
on the Reds,
some good betting information,
some gambling advice,
right?
Yeah. So some other players too. There's Manny Machado's in this league. Eric Hosmer's in this league.
How do we get in this league?
Mike Moustakas is in this league.
We need to get in this league.
Tommy Pham, Mike Trout, Jock Peterson.
Well, apparently Trout sucks as a commissioner. So
Tommy Pham was mad at him. That was very mad at him. But anyway, so what do you think? It all depends on the rules, right? As far as like stashing a player.
Yeah, I would assume that you just want to be able to do it, but yeah, it depends on the rules.
Because like normally there's an injured reserve spot, but that's specifically for people on injured reserve. That's why it's called an IR spot, not just someone that's out for the game, right?
So I guarantee you there are people so bored with this conversation. We're talking about Jock Peterson, talking about things that no one cares about. That's exactly what we're doing.
I know.
We got to sing some more.
But it's just funny how intense fantasy is. Someone got hit for it.
We got to sing the right stuff again.
Have you ever wanted to hit somebody over fantasy football?
Just myself.
Yeah. Maybe.
Or the real NFL players. Now, wouldn't that be funny though if
yeah.
So let's say Tommy Pham or anybody playing a fantasy football or any fantasy sport was so angry because one of their players they had on their team didn't do well. So the next time they saw that player, they gave them a pimp slap.
Yeah.
It's like in the middle of like an NFL game. After the game.
Yep, sorry. Fumble.
Like, hey, Tom Brady! And then he's like, let's go!
2 interceptions? Yeah.
Because that would be uncalled for.
Oh.
That would be uncalled for.
Yes, of course. So real quick.
Almost like if you didn't like a joke from a comedian and you decided
to hit him to stop him from saying that joke.
Yeah.
Also uncalled for.
Uncalled for.
Yeah. But with a smile, real quick, last thing. Pham said, Trout did a terrible job, man. Trout's the worst commissioner in fantasy sports. Because he allowed a lot of shit to go on and could have solved it all. Trout said he didn't even want to be commissioner.
No one wants to be a commissioner.
That's what Tommy says too. He's like, I didn't want to be fucking commissioner, so
nobody wants to be a commissioner
no.
because you have to put out the fires.
Yeah, exactly.
You got all the work to do.
You deal with a lot of shit, and
you have the Batman phone.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, ruling on ruling it's just like it's not fun. It's not fun.
That actually, hold on, that would be a really cool fantasy football league with like superheroes.
Oh yeah. That'd be good.
So let's go with the Marvel universe. Let's just go with the Marvel universe. Who would be the commissioner?
Oh, commissioner.
It's got to be Captain America.
Based on votes, probably Captain America.
Well, I just feel like he would probably have the most. Like, hey, we gotta have order.
Yeah, it's probably Captain America.
You know, the worst would be the Hulk.
Yes, he would have no idea what's going on.
Well, yeah, but then he would get just so angry.
Yeah. Captain America.
Tommy Pham is the Hulk, I think, in this.
Yeah, in this scenario. Yeah.
Who else would be a good?
So, I mean, everyone would be in it, right? I'm looking for Marvel Universe. I think.
Who would Doctor Strange make a good commissioner?
No, not a good commissioner. He would find it all too elementary, probably, and find a way to like.
You know what's funny? Since Benedict Cumberbatch is Doctor Strange and also played Sherlock Holmes, never once did they actually ever say elementary.
That's funny.
There was that TV show Elementary.
Yeah, and you should have said it at least once.
It's just like Elementary, my dear Watson.
One time.
That was never once said in any of the books.
Give it to me one time.
Right, it's like
so disappointing.
Like John Wayne saying Pilgrim.
Right.
He's never said
Pilgrim.
Yet everyone does that when it's a John Wayne.
He's never said Pilgrim. That's funny. He's never said Pilgrim.
Okay. I find this fun.
I love it, dude. I think it's hilarious that someone got hit over fantasy football and the professional athletes. And he called it out. He said, next time I see him, I'm going to pimp slap him. And over a year later.
That's right. Over a year.
And then he did it.
I respect that.
I mean, you got it, right?
Okay, so my story, 15 minutes on the clock. Going now. Here we go. So a man, this is the headline.
Okay.
A man developed sudden amnesia.
Faking it.
After having sex with his wife. Completely forgetting his own wedding anniversary party the day before.
This was right after the wedding?
Yeah, so...
What?
Oh
my God, okay.
A man got amnesia 10 minutes after having afternoon sex with his wife.
Oh my God.
I think that's called afternoon delight.
Boo. Okay, I'm already interested. Okay.
Temporarily wiping his memory of the previous day and rendering him unable to retain new information.
What?
Now here's the 66-year-old man.
Oh,
okay, so first of all,
there it is.
A 66-year-old man's getting afternoon sex?
And
wow.
And listen to me. Does that mean it was good sex or bad sex?
Yeah, I don't know. It could be either way, I guess, right? It was so bad you don't remember it, or so good you can't.
It just like blew your mind, literally blew your mind, you know? 66, yeah, good for him.
Good for him, right? So he became distressed after he looked at his phone after sex one afternoon, saw the date, and thought that he'd forgotten his wedding anniversary.
Oh my God.
When in fact, he'd celebrated it with his wife and family the day before.
Oh no.
Doctors from Limerick, Ireland said in a case report published in this medical journal. So the memory loss, it only lasted for an hour.
So he was faking it.
Hold on. It only lasted for an hour, with the man repeatedly questioning his wife and daughter over the events of the morning and the previous day.
Oh my God.
So hold on. He had sex in the afternoon, forgot things for an hour, and he kept asking his daughter, hey, what happened? You guys were making a lot of noise in there. Yeah, you guys... No, wait, what was I doing? Okay, I was getting to her how?
Yeah. Can you describe it a little more in detail for me? How did it seem I was?
Did you see that my cock was really big?
Did it seem like I was good?
Just imagine the dad, that's gotta be a traumatic thing. I don't want to talk about you having sex.
Well, even for the wife, it feels like a guy played to have sex, right? And it, on both ends, we feel it was a good sex session. But he just wants to keep hearing that. He's like, what happened? Well, we just had sex. We had sex? Really? How was it? I mean, the best sex I ever had. Really? I don't remember. Like, what did I do?
Was it with you?
What did I do exactly? How was it good? He just wants to just keep hearing it. Because
he's just stroking his ego.
Well, yeah, I mean, who has amnesia for an hour? And by the way, how does the doctors know it's amnesia? They got to They got him to the hospital, diagnosed it and stuff within an hour.
Well, so what I find to be really interesting. So he's a newlywed, at 66, right?
Yeah.
So hey, cool, good for him. But if he ever cheats on his wife,
oh my God,
they're gonna know.
It's built in.
Well, they're gonna know.
He can just say he forgot.
Well, no, because if they're like, oh hey, where were you? What? Oh, I don't remember.
Oh, yeah.
What?
Wait a second.
Did you see Sally?
Yeah, like how?
Who is
You were gone.
our neighbor?
You were gone all night. Like what happened? I don't remember. Oh shit, it's over. Oh shit. Oh.
Oh, I know.
Oh, now I get it. Yeah, for an hour, that's weird.
Yeah, it does seem. So the man, he visited an emergency room. He had a completely normal neurological examination by the time he got there.
Yeah. So how do we?
So they diagnosed him with transient global amnesia, or TGA.
Yeah.
Thank God for amnesia.
This feels like a Walter White move, right? Like he didn't want Skylar to know that what he was cooking meth. He faked they called it like a transient episode, like a fake amnesia. How can the doctors diagnose this? They're like, well, he said he forgot, so I guess it's this. Because, like you said, by the time he got there, his brain was,
I think he was back, right?
Was working fine. So how could they possibly?
Well, I don't. It's apparently they've come across this before. It's a benign condition that causes sudden short-term memory loss and the inability to form new memories. Any memory loss typically can last 4 to 6 hours.
Okay.
So more than an hour.
Okay.
Without the need for treatment. But it can last up to 24 hours.
Right. Okay.
Okay?
If that really happened, I still doubt it. That would be very scary.
Oh! If
Like
you're
you're just like all
it.
of a sudden you're just like, what the like? And how much? I know it probably doesn't answer this. And how much do you forget? So he knew that was his wife and his daughter, or was he just asking two random people what happened? So
what is this video on my phone that I took in the afternoon?
Like, how do you forget some things
and
not others? Yeah.
Wow, I'm very flexible.
Yeah, I'm amazing.
Wow.
So I don't get it. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I know you're my wife, but how do you know what to forget and what not to forget?
Well, maybe it's just you just lose. If it's like 4 to 6 hours, 24, you just lose in that window.
Right.
Right.
So you know of them because of the past.
Yeah. I think maybe just it's like a temporary.
Yeah. So
block.
Weird. Like,
it's very weird.
What just happened? I don't.
Well, just amnesia in general.
Scary, right?
Very scary, especially ones that just don't go away, right?
It almost feels like amnesia was super scary, but like dementia, like Alzheimer's, right? Where you're just like you think things are other things, but you just don't remember certain things too. It's like, holy shit. This is what I always thought, like with amnesia, maybe a little scary there, but like with like a dementia type thing or Alzheimer's, is it scary for you, right? Because you don't know that you don't know type of thing, right? It's scary for the other people taking care of you. But like, if you don't know that you don't know, then it's not that scary.
It's the ignorance is bliss.
Right,
yeah.
Right. So if you get it, like, you're probably cool. The people around you are probably flipping out because it's a lot of work for them.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It's a lot of work.
For sure.
I feel like, if I have it, I don't know that I have it, so it's probably cool.
No, it's
right?
Yeah, well...
I mean, cool, I'm being flippant about it, but not cool. But you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
you just don't know, but you don't know.
Well, yeah, having worked with folks with dementia for a long time, it's when you first know when that's happening.
At the beginning of it.
That's got to be the
right,
worst.
because you know you're slipping into that part of it.
Yeah.
But once you're there, though.
Once you're there, it doesn't, you're right. And now it's harder for everyone else, your caregivers and family.
Yeah.
For you.
You're already slipped, right?
So, and this is where I would joke working with folks with dementia. It was like, you could be funny and say the same joke every day.
Yep.
And but it was bad when it didn't work.
It didn't hit.
This worked yesterday.
Yeah.
Now I'm bombing.
People are yeah.
But no, it's very sad, very scary. Hopefully someday we can find a cure. But so it says TJA can mimic other conditions such as stroke, dementia, epilepsy, and may have implications for certain jobs such as pilots. That's what they put in there?
Oh no.
That just seems like a really random thing to slip in there.
Yeah, don't put
it's
that.
It's also very bad for a certain job, like a pilot.
Yeah, so don't. Why would you do that?
It wouldn't be bad for any job.
Yeah, I know, right? Or the one that can kill. Or your Uber driver.
Or the person that has the key to the nuclear war.
Yeah.
What does this key do? I'm gonna.
Well,
Dude, I don't know.
for a pilot. Or a pilot.
Or for a pilot.
Thanks, article.
Well, they just kind of like threw that in there.
It feels like very for no reason.
That would be weird. Now let's imagine that. Wow.
What do you forget how to fly a plane? You're in midair,
right?
And you go, and then, oh shit.
But okay.
Would you remember? You probably wouldn't know where you were going.
Yes, I'm saying you would know how to still fly
because you knew previously how to fly.
It'd be just fine for a pilot,
but you just didn't know where you're going.
And honestly, you could land anywhere right now,
right?
And it'd be just as good as air travel is right now.
Well, why not?
Because it's really bad right now.
Well, that's why you got a co-pilot. You know, like, hey, where were we going again? Excuse me. Yeah. take a week off, Chuck.
So most cases have been reported in men aged between 50 and 70.
Sounds about right, yeah.
And they don't know exactly what causes TGA, but it has been linked to several activities, including physical exertion,
that's funny,
immersion in cold or hot water.
All right.
So any shower.
Well, those cold plunges that people do nowadays, feels good for your body. Whoop, amnesia.
Yeah, like a polar plunge.
Yeah, that people love doing that. Like, it's good for the brain.
Have you noticed there's a lot of polar bears that don't know where they're going?
Oh, that makes sense.
You know, they're like floating on icebergs.
Yeah,
they think it's global warming, but they're actually
they just don't know where they're at.
They just have amnesia. They don't know what they're doing.
Yeah. They like if you just look 10 feet to the right, there's a huge glacier.
I know. I thought this was land.
They decided to go on this little one. It's not as bad as we think, fellas. Okay.
Oh,
yeah.
Coke bottle.
The icebergs aren't melting that quick.
No, not at all.
They're fine.
I learned that from Tucker Carlson. But it also has been emotional stress can cause it, pain, and sex.
That's funny, dude. So maybe this. Well, what if the sex was emotionally distressing? That's double.
Yeah. What if it's emotionally distressing sex in cold water?
Yeah. Oh, you're done for. That's like a month of amnesia.
So this man though,
he's just too old to have sex. Isn't that funny? Like, sorry, load if you're not feeling that. Sorry, babe. Too old to have sex. I can't have any physical activity.
Yeah. He actually had this same phenomena 7 years prior.
Oh my God.
It can happen to a person more than once, though they're not sure exactly how often it can happen.
Right.
Yeah, he was. It was 10 minutes after having sex. 10 minutes after the sex, and he just.
I would flip out. Nothing's ever happened to me like that, where like a trauma or like. I mean, I got hit by a car when I was like 10 or 11, but I didn't experience. I got like a sprained ankle or something. You know what I mean?
So how did you get hit by the car?
I was walking across the street. It was like a busy street. We were in the middle lane, like waiting for cars to go by. Me and my brother.
Oh, you were jaywalking.
Yeah, and then a car stopped, and believe me, this wasn't like a residential street. It was like a 45 mile an hour, speed limit. Car stopped. Shouldn't have, because there's 2 lanes that are going fast, and they stopped. We said, they said, go ahead. We're like, no, you really gotta go. And they said, go ahead. And we said, you go, like 3 times. And then we started walking, and then I think a car was behind that car, and I was like, oh shit, and went around it. So went around it, I came out from the other end, and it hit me. Yeah. And then so I remember I woke up in the ambulance.
Oh, so you lost consciousness?
Yeah. I woke up in the ambulance, and they're saying like, "What's your name? What's your address? What's your phone number?" They're like,
"Have you had sex recently?"
Yeah. And so at first I didn't remember, but I was like, "Oh shit, I do kind of remember the car," and then a blur. But I
did you go in the air? Do you know?
My brother said, he was like this poor 8-year-old kid who saw his brother get hit. So I was walking my bike, it hit me, and then my shoulder hit the windshield, and I flew up in the air and fell down.
And too bad it was in TikTok then.
Oh my God, it would have been hilarious.
Oh,
yeah. So my point is, I was fine. I really severely sprained ankle, but they checked for a concussion, all that stuff.
Okay.
It hurt, but it was like a pretty hard hit.
You know who was driving that car?
Some lady.
Tommy Pham.
Oh shit. I shouldn't have cheated in fantasy
He
football.
heard.
God damn it.
He was like 2 at the time.
Yeah, right. It is true, and I do remember like my life did flash before my eyes. It's weird to describe it, but it was like a bunch of. Okay. And it's really weird. I saw like images and pictures of things that happened.
Wow.
And then I just woke up in the ambulance, and I was fine. My brother. The funny thing is, my brother. So we were on our bikes, right? Where I was walking my bike. My brother. Someone saw, so they called 911 and stuff. My brother. We were at the end of my street, and here, and then my house was all the way at the end of the street. He decides the most important thing is to take our bikes back to the house and unlock the door and put them away in the garage.
Yeah, so he got that.
Right, and so my bike didn't go because it got hit. But he all he cared about, he just was trying to roll the bikes back to our house and like unlock the door and put them away because he didn't know what else to do. He's 8 years old.
That makes sense. So he's trying to take control of one thing he knows he can
That's
do.
That's all I know. That's all I know what to do.
Sure.
So I'm sure it was scarier for him than it was for me. You know what I mean?
See, here we come back to dementia. We're going right back to it.
Right, because I was already knocked out. So my point is, that wasn't trauma, but I never had anything like.
Well, it was a traumatic.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
But nothing sudden like that where it came at me where I was like, what the? I didn't know what was happening. You know what I mean? Like, have you ever experienced it where it's like you don't like, oh shit, I don't know what's going on?
Just every time I take my clothes off in the bedroom.
I avoid that. So
yeah.
So I get it.
Yeah, so just the lights on.
Yeah. Have you ever been robbed? Like your house robbed?
Yes. But people weren't there.
Not home, right?
The robbers weren't there.
But yeah, was it like your family, like your sister and your mom, or like here, like with your kids, your wife, like?
Not here, but at the old house,
okay.
And then in Chicago twice. We've had our car stolen multiple times.
Oh my god!
Got it back every time.
Oh really?
Yeah, it's just a joyride.
They just wanted to take it and drive.
Yeah. So here's the thing.
That's
so
funny.
we had a Toyota Camry from like a '92 Camry.
Right.
And we had a roommate, Selena, right? And she had a Volvo.
Oh, yep.
And her Volvo car key could start our car. It started the Toyota Camry.
I didn't know that. I liked her Volvo.
So it was a very easy car to steal.
That's fun. You can just get in there.
But we got it back every time.
That's so funny. That was in North Highlands when that.
Yep.
That makes sense.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, that's so funny. I didn't know that.
Anyway,
that her key could start.
No, I know it was good
That's
stuff.
hilarious. Her key could start.
So I don't know, like just this dude. I'm afraid for this dude.
Yeah, he can't have sex anymore. He can't.
Or is that it's worth it if the sex is that good?
Maybe. Especially since it's happened before, right? So he knows, like it's going to happen again.
So maybe he could like leave a note. Text like maybe his daughter.
Yeah.
Apparently she's involved closely with him.
Right.
Like, honey, I'm about to have sex.
Yeah.
If I forget, can you just...
Can you record this?
Yeah, just record this for...
For proof. For proof.
Or, it's poor guy. Good. He just got married. And that's getting afternoon delight.
And that's what I mean. It's like, obviously, in the afternoon, just got married, so you figure they're going to have sex for... Like, he can't do it.
Ah, man. Could you imagine? Because he's 66. I don't know how old his wife is, but
yeah,
if you complete amnesia, and he's, he meets his wife and his daughter, and he's like, "What? I just had sex. Which one? With who?"
Oh boy.
Not the daughter, but just like there's the old lady. Oh, not with the old lady, right? Please tell me it wasn't the old lady.
Please tell me. Who are you?
Yeah, tell me it was with the younger one.
Yeah.
Was it with this?
With the hot one?
That's your daughter.
Oh shit! No,
not that one.
Never mind.
Like,
it'd be so weird.
I had it with the old one. Oh,
God damn it,
man.
And then she's just used to it by then. She's like, okay. You'll love me in an hour, honey. It's fine. She just has to deal with it, even though he's like completely like berating her. Tell me to have sex with this old piece of shit. Like the whole time, she's like, okay, whatever you say.
Oh, sorry, honey. I had the TGA again. Like,
yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Right.
Just an excuse to like put down his wife.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Goes to a party. Hey, who's this old broad here?
Yeah. Oh, sorry, TGA. Oh, just for a minute this time. It was just a minute long. He just decided to just every time he makes a mistake.
Good stuff. Okay. Any takeaways?
So obviously, don't play fantasy football with Tommy Pham.
or do.
And
Just know that he's going to take it very seriously.
Just don't cheat. No, I love fantasy football. I'm glad. It's funny to see, athletes get so mad about it, and when it's something I know in my heart that just like normies get mad about. So that's kind of cool. And then I guess don't have sex after 66.
Oof, that's harsh. My takeaway is I'm going to take a lesson from this dude.
Yeah.
And when I do an illegal move in fantasy football, TGA.
Oh, I like it. There should be the name of one of our teams should be something with TGA.
I think I'm going to try to get that into the rule book. Get the commissioner on
it. TGA rule.
Get the commish. Who we talked about last week, the Battle of the Joshes.
Sure, that's Josh.
TGA. All right. Well, thank you for listening. And Ferguson? No, Fergus. It's Fergus. Fergus the gold miner.
Oh, he's back?
He's back.
All right.
Let's see.
Yeah, I'm gonna sell some fool's gold. Yeah, I'm gonna spend it on a whole bunch of pimps and prostitutes.
What?
And I'm gonna go party with Tommy Fam. Yeah! You guys still suck.
Oh, well.
All right, thanks.
At least he's,
He sounds like he's having a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's all that counts.
Mining gold all day. All right. Be well. Thank you for listening. I don't know if I love this one.
I mean, we can redo it. It's only a half hour.